Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back to another video. So, today we're going to do a full breakdown of my stock portfolio. Very simple, very easy. I'll be honest with you guys. It takes a lot for me to admit my mistakes, but I think that by making this type of video, it'll allow me to be honest with myself and have respect for the money. Because I haven't been respectful with money just because I've been in a good position where I can, make a pretty decent living. First and foremost, not financial advice. Do not invest on what I'm investing. This is just for education and entertainment purposes only. And you'll quickly understand why as I go through the breakdown. I'm going to start with the positive of my investment account, my Roth IRA. That's when I started back in 2023, and I was not consistent. I really regret not being consistent because as you can see, I'll put on the screenshot, I've made 1x my money. I've only put about $12,000 in that 3 year span, and I could have done way better. It's worth $24,000. Half of that, as you can tell, $12,000 is just the growth, the compound over the 3 years. Very simple to do math. If I would have put 50 grand, I would have 100. If I would have put 100, I would have 200. Whatever. Can't dwell over spilled milk. Can't take back the time. You just gotta, roll with the punches. Now, the reason why I wasn't investing properly was simple. I took a break and I started trying to chase all these unicorns, trying to make the quick buck. And as you can guess right now, it didn't work out. So here's another screenshot. That's mostly the rest of my other investments. Kind of sad to even call them investments, to be honest, but it's the truth. It's more like gambling. However, let me explain as to the thought behind it. So I'll go into detail about Bitcoin in another video because I missed Bitcoin back in 2014. I knew about it, but due to some circumstances, I didn't invest in it. That'll be its own separate video because I still kind of kick myself over the head over it. But now that I see Bitcoin not as a way to flip things, I see it more of a store of value. I'm starting to also dab a little bit into, and I'll touch base in another video on that. But the reason why that's important is because the companies that I started investing in are Bitcoin treasury companies. And if any of you guys know anything about that, you'll know that strategy has been getting some crazy returns in the past 5 years. Almost 5,000%. Obviously, I want to get into that. And I feel like I was always late to the party. I feel like I wasn't doing enough. I went heavy on the Bitcoin treasury company rabbit hole. I came across Metaplanet. And Metaplanet is supposed to be doing very well because the market that is in Japan and the economy there is more of a savers and so forth and so on, whatever. Then I did my research with the Smarter Web company and I did that. And so as you can see, I went heavy on that, and that was at least 5 different individual stocks. Now, I'm negative all of them right now, but specifically Metaplanet, I'm down 6x. I'm embarrassed about it, but it is what it is. I do believe in the long term it'll come up. I don't know. It was supposed to do at least a 2-3x at the end of the year, and it hasn't done that. Mistakes. But now I'm looking at the money. I'm trying to be more conservative, trying to play it more safe, no more flipping. I'm going to be focusing on the index. So I wanted to show you guys the screenshots so you guys understand that Even though you can make mistakes, you can still, even all those negative numbers, we're still sitting at 52,000. And that's with poor habits. That's with not being consistent. That's with, mistakes after time. So some of the ones that have been going well for me at the moment is the same index funds, FSPGX. I just like the fun, the you know the track record's there. The fees are very minimal, and it's been going great. And I'm planning on just staying in that. Yes, VOO, QQQ, VTI, all those exist, and they've had amazing returns. But um, I don't want to diversify too much. I'm just gonna keep it simple. Well, what has been going well, as you can tell in that screenshot, those are the main ones. Now, at the time of this recording, the market went down a little bit, and that's why the last bottom two were also red. But those are more AI focused. I guess you can say I'm focusing on the AI now. I'm not FOMOing like I did with the Bitcoin treasuries. Yes, it would have been smarter to buy Bitcoin directly. That I do believe that. So, but I was trying again to double, triple my money, and that's just not gonna happen with Bitcoin on this rally. That hasn't happened. But I'm putting the screenshot again. The top one is it's a company from Canada, Celestica. That one has been doing well. It's more of the pick and shovels of AI. The other company that I'm also heavily invested is AMD. As you guys can tell, Nvidia had a crazy run. I missed it, sort of. I mean, obviously, my Roth IRA did a 1x because it's invested into all those things, right? That's the beautiful thing about index funds. Obviously, I missed it as an individual stock, and I wish I would have been able to be early to that party. But as always, I feel like I'm always a couple years late. So did my research again, put money into AMD. AMD is my biggest play right now, and it's breaking even. Just a couple months ago, I was up 15-20%. It came down with news on the daily of this and that, wars, and what the president is doing and not doing. And so, anyways, I do see that company being a long-term success. I definitely do see it being at least a $2 trillion company. When, don't know, but that's one that I'm really looking forward to. I wanted to break down the main companies that I'm invested in, not so you can invest. Please don't invest. Obviously, I don't have the best track record, but I wanted to show you guys and show myself, most importantly, to be able to look back one day and look at my mistakes and say, you did much better from that point on. 2025 at the end of the year was a turning moment. And so hopefully this information helps you and your loved ones to make better decisions and to kind of stay away from the quick buck. As you can tell, it doesn't always work out.